Excuse me, I have to get to work soon, but I just saw the State of the Nation address from Donald Trump where he had flags at half mast and saying that Charlie Kirk was an amazing American. And I do agree. Charlie Kirk is the actual idea of America. He's a God-fearing man. He has a wife, children, blonde wife, beautiful woman. It was amazing what he did for the greater confines of the idea of America. And because of the tragic loss of Charlie Kirk's life, Donald Trump has declared war upon the entire far radical left. Why did he do that? Well, what does the war mean? Let's talk about it for a second. Donald Trump is the man who built an entire political brand on demonization. This is his entire political brand. That's what he launched a campaign calling Mexican immigrants just assaulters and evil things. He's labeled entire religions and nations as threats. He has turned his political opponents into cartoon villains for his rallies. He has now declared war on the left for demonizing the right. I want you to let that irony resonate and detonate in your skull for a moment. That this is not the pot calling the kettle black. This is like a flamethrower suing a match for arson. Like a flick match for arson. I'm not even sure how to feel. I've never been lost for words before. This is a deep contradiction. He weaponized contradiction. He understands the oldest trick in the playbook. Accuse your enemy of your own greatest sin. That's genuinely what he's doing. And I think the loss of life is tragic. Genuinely speaking, I think that was a horrifying video to witness. I think that the loss of somebody is tragic. I do think that kind of brought it upon himself because of what he spoke about, and I understand the dissent and nonsense that is happening. But I think we can also talk about the shootings. I don't know if you know about that. In Colorado, I believe. In Colorado that happened yesterday. Nobody's talking about them. I don't know why. No one, and I mean nobody, is talking about what happened in Colorado high school. No one's talking. That happened 20 hours ago. No one's talking about that. Not even a peep about that. All because who cares about the children? This guy who had a mass following taken out in public. I think both are horrifying. I think both are tragic. I think you should talk about both. Two things can exist at once. Because he's now, when he convinced people of his own greatest sin, he's doing it loudly, shamelessly, repeatedly. I think the goal is not to be truthful about what's happening here. I think that's the goal. Because obviously, I want to point this out. We don't know the identity of who took out Charlie. We have no clue. We have no idea. We have no clue. We genuinely have no idea. We haven't found the person. I thought we found the guy because some guy was getting held down. It was this old guy. But no, that's not even the guy. That's not even the person. There's a manhunt going on right now. That's what's happening. Like, there a lot of people, I'm not going to say all Republicans because it's not all Republicans. I literally just came from the gym and I was speaking to a Republican man. And he said, "You heard about what happened to Charlie?" And I said, "Yeah, it was pretty tragic." He said, "Yeah, it was pretty strange." I mean, he was saying a lot of crazy stuff, but you know, free speech, you got to be able to talk about things. But then my daughter showed me something, and he talked about what his daughter showed him. And I want to show you guys what his daughter showed him, because it's very important. Well, I got copyright struck like 5 times trying to upload this video, so I'm just going to link it in the top comment, and I'm going to link a few articles in there as well about what I want to get on about things, just to get on with my point here. Donald Trump is deeply preparing for a war. I don't know what a war it is. It's like a preemptive strike against criticism. It's any fact, any condemnation, any legitimate outrage is instantly dismissed as just more proof of the left's vicious bias. I want to point this out. The left has been very understanding and accepting and trying to have reasonable conversation for eons about very reasonable things, and it's always met with outrage and anger and demonization every time. You can go to any 20v1 video, you can go to any conversation, and here goes I think I found the problem here. It's the vocal minority that is making people think that that's the majority. So I want to point this out. The majority of people are not as insane or radical or entirety of ever. They're not that way. They're not. But Donald Trump has declared war on the entire spectrum of thought for the crime of fighting back. Like, I don't know what to tell you here. For the crime of not laying down and accepting his, it feels like a different alternate reality. He has framed basic political opposition, which is common in any situation, the very foundation of democracy, as an act of illegitimate aggression. In his world, his attacks are just fighting fire with fire. But any return fire is genuinely going to be an unprovoked act on decency itself. He owns the trademark on offense and the patent on grievance. It seems stupid. It's a mafia tactic. It's genuinely a mafia tactic, because I don't understand what he's doing. It's the bully who shoves you into a locker, and then when you shove back, runs to the principal screaming that you started it. He creates the chaos, ignites the conflict, throws the first punch, second, and the third. Because do you remember when, I don't know if you guys remember when the Democrat woman, the senator, she got taken out. Like, seriously, it's like we're forgetting that John and his wife, like the Hoffmans, they were taken, that happened. Are we forgetting about this instance? Are we forgetting about this? Because this isn't new. It's not new information. This happened multiple. I could pull up. I'm not gonna pull up the hundreds of. I'm not gonna do that. It seems redundant to just continually bring up the same talking point over and over again. It just seems goofy. But when it happens to them, now it's this big fiasco. It's a big issue. I hate this us versus them garbage. Donald Trump is an arsonist who then stands in front of the burning building and condemns the fire department for using water. That is what's happening. You know what sucks about this whole thing? It works. Because a lie shouted through a bullhorn is more memorable than a truth whispered in silence. It's just stupid. It works because his followers, many of them who feel genuinely marginalized by a changing world, embrace this victimhood as their own. And my wife said this yesterday. She said, I think a lot of Republicans were waiting for something like this to happen because now it gives them an excuse to do what they've always wanted to do. And it's going to get scary. And I mean this genuinely. That they see his war not as hypocrisy, but as righteous payback. He has convinced them that any critique of his vile behavior is not a critique of him, but an attack on them, on their values, their way of life, their very existence. He has personalized politics to a pathological degree. We are forced to defend against an accusation that is itself the very act it describes. We are forced to argue against a narrative that is fundamentally insane. I have no better word for it, which immediately pulls us into its insanity because we're fighting insanity back with insanity. To engage with the charge is to validate its framework. To ignore it is to let it stand. He has created a perfect unwinnable rhetorical trap. This is the war he has just declared. He has effectively done a war on truth, on consistency, and on logic. You know what agitates me the most is that he always, and this is, I have nothing against Christians. This is not an attack on Christians. I promise you it's not. But Christianity, as a man that was a youth pastor, Christianity is about faith. Faith in the unknowable, faith in the unshakable, faith in Yahweh, faith in Jesus Christ, God bless his soul, faith in the trifecta, the Holy Spirit, faith in the Almighty Three, faith, belief that what you believe is correct, is right. What you believe in what you can't see, the Father who made you in heaven, that is what it's supposed to be, faith. And the faith is unshakable and infallible. That is the basis of Christianity, is what it's supposed to be. But it is not a truth for everybody. It is a truth for yourself. He hasn't just broken the rules of political discourse, he set them on fire and now is complaining about the smell of smoke from his opponent's house. It is the most brilliant, most dangerous con in American history, convincing a nation that the reflection of his own ugly face in the mirror is actually the face of its enemy. And this war is stupid. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Have fun, disagree with me if you want to. Bye.
I'm your Nick and Night, be my Laurel Angelo. Happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. I love the ride when you